And aloha. And aloha. Welcome to the Blue Note Fan Report. I'm Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, and I'm your host on the only program that is by a fan, for the fan, and absolutely about you, the fan.
So are you Guy or D?
Ed Danowski.
You're not in Hawaii?
I wish.
Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. We should have won that game. And it was
we
great.
should have won that game.
Great overtime, but we got a superstar. Kylo Ren is joining us. Hi, Kylo.
Hey,
Hey, Mike.
what are you doing?
Michael Dacus, he is a writer for the Hockey Writers for the Vegas Golden Knights. He is graciously,
Oh, great.
Yeah.
he's graciously decided to join
Yeah.
us.
Oh,
Yeah,
geez,
he looks like, I can't remember the name of the actor, but you got him down good, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Adam
thank you.
Driver.
Adam Driver. Yeah.
Adam Driver, there we go.
Was it hard for you to come to the show tonight? My gosh, you guys
Yeah.
can't seem to lose in overtime.
Exactly. Yeah. What a great game, though. Wow. That was
Yeah.
7 games between the Blues. Of the 17 games we played, 7 of them have gone to overtime.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, these two teams play each other very tight. I mean, it doesn't surprise me. And actually, I don't think we've ever beaten them in overtime. I think we've lost to them all but like maybe once or twice. I mean, rarely have we beat them in overtime. The Knights played well, and so did the Blues. Okay, it's a loss, and Brock says you don't get, you don't have the, what do you call it?
Moral victories.
Moral victories. But we are going to the playoffs. The Avalanche beat the Kings 3-2. So
Yes.
the Blues punched their ticket.
That's
We're going to the playoffs.
We're in.
Congratulations.
Yay!
So, Michael,
Okay.
this is a big deal because we thought we were left for dead.
Right?
We thought we were
No,
left for dead. So this is good.
We were left for dead, and we're there.
Yeah, we're
let's get
there,
into-
but can we survive?
Say it. Oh,
I said we're
hey,
there.
I
but
said
can we
I'd
survive?
be drinking tonight, and I'm drinking. I got my Bud Light out.
My Diet Coke.
Oh, I have my Diet Coke too. Oh my God.
There you go. So, Michael, let me ask you, what, from your standpoint, you guys didn't really have a lot to play for. Obviously, I mean, you're kind of jockeying for position a little bit. What was your take on? Let's start with the Knights. Do you feel like they played pretty solid, like playoff caliber hockey, or do you feel like they got to work on some things?
Yeah, actually, this game was not their best game at all, in my opinion. I didn't see what they were like. I had no idea what they were doing. Like, slow passes were way off. A lot of ping pong, like giving a lot of giveaways. Yeah, they can't play like that in the playoffs. That's all I know. If they do, it's going to be a disaster. So, yeah, not a great outing by the Golden Knights at all.
Well, okay, but I look at this and I go, well, maybe some of that's attributed to the way the Blues play defense, because they play defense better than they have in a long time, and they had you stifled a lot, right?
Yeah.
The goals were dirty goals. There was nothing that I'm going to sit there and say, oh, it was a great goal. The Raw one was a decent one, but it was dirty because of the way it was set up before. You could have possibly challenged that for goaltender interference. I think you would have lost, but you did have a small case there. So with that being said, I think the Blues, and agree or disagree with me, I think the Blues outplayed Vegas until the overtime. Right? I really do. I think that they outplayed them until the overtime. And actually, I'll go back. I'll say they overplayed them until they scored the last goal. because they had two odd man rushes and 3 good chances on Leonard, who made some great saves.
Yeah, absolutely. Right? Defensively, the Blues were amazing at stifling our zone entries. Like when we were bringing the puck through the middle into your zone, Blues were great, especially Wallman. I had never really paid attention to this player before. And
Same.
His stick this game, was extraordinary. Stopped a lot of chances. And the Blues did play defensively superbly. So, yes.
That spin move from Wallman really got me. I don't know how I don't know how you can think that quickly with your brain like that in 0.2 seconds to be like, okay, and then turn it around. That for me was pretty awesome. And Falk was just solid all game. Of course, I'll say it again. So,
Hey, I'm sorry, Michael, but I just got to join with my 2 count. People, we did it. We're in. Can you believe it?
Yep.
We are in the freaking
we're
playoffs.
In. And that's the thing. You just got to be in.
Yep.
Right? You just got to be in. Right? And once you get into the tournament, I mean, look who we had on today. What did he say? What did Gary Unger say at the pregame? Right? Once you're in, you don't know what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. Right? You just don't know. And this is a man who's got all the experience in the world. The teams that are at the bottom usually play really, really well, right? This is something that I'm looking at as a positive. We have played Vegas, Minnesota, and Colorado very, very well, right? We may have losing records to them, but you can't sit there and say we haven't played well. You get into overtime in the playoffs, it's anybody's game. It ain't like 3-on-3. It's 5-on-5. The style of play is different. If you keep playing that stifling defense that the Blues played 5-on-5, they win this game. I absolutely believe they win this game.
Yeah.
Right. If this is a playoff game, and it felt like it felt like a playoff atmosphere. To me.
Oh. Hell yeah. I was nervous. I was behind my couch just going, I'm not sure what's going to happen. So these are the kind of emotions that are going to come up again during the playoffs, which I'm so excited for. There's nothing like playoff hockey, as we know. So it's going to be great.
Yeah. Right. And again, I'm giving Vegas all the respect in the world. For me, they're still my Stanley Cup team. I don't know that they can be beat, because again, they're not really playing for a lot, but man, again, the guy that scored tonight, Jonathan Marchessault, he kind of gets lost in the discussion, and that guy's an elite player. Mark Stone, Max Pacioretty, Alex Martinez, Alex Tuck, Alex Pietrangelo. I mean, my gosh, it's really impressive. So by no means, we're joking around, we're celebrating the Blues, but trust me, everybody in this city's got a lot of respect for the Vegas Golden Knights. But we joke around, but we really do.
Yeah, they're definitely a strong team. Like personally, me, I write for the Golden Knights, but I'm a Habs fan because I'm from Montreal, Quebec.
I respect that even more.
Yeah. But Vegas is my Stanley Cup team as well. I recently became a fan, but they're such a solid team. Like it's insane.
And but Vegas, the two goalies too. We even talk about the 2 goalies. I mean, that's tough to beat.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but tonight what I saw from Leonard was the first 3 goals were very weak from Leonard.
Yeah,
that's what Darren Pang said. Darren Pang announcing said that he also thought that Leonard was off his game tonight as well.
Yeah.
So you agree?
Well, he's been off his game for a bit actually. And that really surprises me because I'm high on Leonard. I like the guy. I think he's, the tandem that you guys have is right up there with the best in the league. Yeah. And I absolutely believe that. But who do you go with in the playoffs? Right? I mean, and this is your, believe it or not, this is what I love. I love dualities. Your greatest strength is also your greatest weakness.
Yes.
It is. It honestly is. You have Lanier and Fleury. Lanier's playing bad right now. Fleury, you put him in. He's been known to blow it in the playoffs, right? He's had issues in the playoffs. He's an older goalie. Ryan Green says lateral movement. we could have scored a wraparound if the pressure from their defense wasn't all over us. And that's true, right? That's very, very true point, Med. Ryan, very, very true, right? Sure as hell got it together in the OT though. Well, I think that OT was back and forth, right? That OT was not what the game was. It was totally different. So to me, that OT doesn't matter. Like I said, in the playoffs, it's 5-on-5. Take that OT away because it just doesn't matter. I just feel that the Blues told Vegas, we can play with you tonight. They may have lost, but I think they told them we can play with you tonight. And they've also sent that message to the Wild, right? They took 5 out of 6 points from the Wild. So they've definitely sent that message to the Wild. Really, the only one we haven't sent that message to is Colorado. Right? That's the one we haven't sent the message to. So if we face either the Knights or the Wild, I see that going 6 or 7 games. Right? Now 7 if the Blues win, 6 if they win, but I see it going 6 or 7 games. I really do.
Wow. I mean, I don't know. It's just, again, the parody is really great. And, the one thing I want to ask, since we have a visitor on, we're a lot of people big fans of Alex Pietrangelo. Was a captain for us, and he's had a great season. How do you guys, how do you view him as a member? Again, he's got playoff experience. He's got Stanley Cup experience. I mean, how important is he going to be for you guys in the postseason?
Absolutely. Very big, very big. I actually wrote one of my first articles I wrote at the Hockey Writers was why I believed Vegas would be the Stanley Cup winning team. And my last paragraph, I wrote, we have the X factor. We're bringing on Alex Pietrangelo, who is 2 years off of winning a Stanley Cup as a captain with the St. Louis Blues. And he's being rejuvenated, like thrown into this lineup with Mark Stone, with Max Pacioretty, with 2 all-star goalies. And I think his experience, his leadership, he was the captain when he won the Stanley Cup, will be that X factor for the Golden Knights. So he kind of didn't meet the expectations I think the Golden Knights fans had for him this season. Because of that.
He also got injured. He also got injured, though. Didn't he? He had an injury.
Yeah, he was injured a little bit.
Yeah.
I think, and that's something that I think Vegas Golden Knight fans didn't say that they don't understand about the game, because you can't sit there and transfer teams and go. And this is what happened with Falk. This is what happened with Krug. You switch teams, you don't get that same system. You don't get some of that same understanding and things like that. And Kat, I know Sam Gibraltar here is also, and if I remember right, he's from Ukraine and he was adopted by parents from St. Louis. So he's kind of got that same connection of you. And he just wrote a book about, a fictional book about it. I can't remember the name of your book, Sam, but if you put it out there, we'll tell everybody. It's on Amazon. So I forget what it's called. He sent me the link for it, or the thing for it, and it's slipping my head at the last minute. But I wanted to let you know that Sam's going to be a big fan of yours there, Kat. Bloodline. That's it. The book's called Bloodline.
Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. I want to try and get that from you, Sam. I'm going to send you a message, see if I can get a special signed copy, because we've been friends for a while now, and then I'll read it for you and then do a review on the show. Okay, let's get back to the game a little. Well, actually, this game doesn't mean anything anymore.
Yep.
What's tomorrow's game mean? What happens tomorrow? Who do you rest?
Squad.
Who do you play? And here's the big thing. Husso or Bennington? Do you sit Bennington now for a game or two?
Yes.
Right? Right? Do you guys does Vegas still go with the flip-flop and play Fleury tomorrow?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, like I said, those 3 weak goals by Leonard, I think you give Fleury the chance to kind of prove himself to be the playoff starter. Absolutely.
Pump your team up again, change the momentum within the team.
Yeah. I think this game for me has there's a lot more positive to this game for the Blues than negatives, period. Right? and I actually see, if I'm a Knights fan, this game scares me.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because you have a potential first round matchup that just came and played your game in your face and dang near beat you.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. Yeah. Don't want to sound like I'm pushing too much, but to me, that's what I saw. And that's what I heard. Right. 41 hits to 25, 41 hits for the Blues.
But
right?
To their defense,
they still outshot us,
firing on all cylinders, though. This is just like, hey, man, it's we're in. But I think when the page turns in the playoffs, these guys are capable of just turning it up to another level. And like I said, we didn't even talk about Max Pacioretty. He kills the Blues every time he's on the ice. So I just think that Vegas presents a lot of problems for a lot of teams, but especially for the Blues. I do think it'd be a great series, and I'd love to see it. But they scare me. They just do.
Oh, no. I think that unless they beat the crap out of each other, I think that one of the Stanley Cup finalists is going to come from the West. Yeah. Right? To me, whoever comes – now you got to see, this year is a little different, and we haven't really talked about this, and we'll get into it in the playoff preview. The third round is not a conference round. They are going to reseed the third round. So the team with the best record will face the team with the worst record. And then the other two will face each other. So depending on what could happen, let's say, right now, either Vegas, the Minnesota, or the Avalanche come out, they're probably going to be one of the top record teams. And who are they going to face?
Ashley said that they might have Reeves back for the playoffs, so that hit percentage is going to switch. I mean, we all know we love and know Reeves, so that was a good point, Ashley. Like when he comes back, like that's gonna be another momentum change. Like that's why it's just so unpredictably predictable.
Yeah. Why was Reeves out? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I didn't pay attention to it.
Same.
I have no idea. I just know he's slowly making his way back to the lineup, which is a good thing. But
is it a lower body or an upper body?
I do not have that information. I have no idea.
Oh, no issue. Just asking.
Yeah.
So those hits will switch. I don't see. Everyone says that. I'm not the big Reeves fan that everybody else in the world in St. Louis.
I am.
I know. I'm one of the few. Reeves is injured but not disclosed. I should add, you know what, the Yorks? I know you guys know him personally. You should find out what the injury is for me. With the season being how it is with injuries, and it's because you will say that second or third round loss in the playoffs would still be a success considering how the year's gone. I would like to see him get past at least one round. I really would. The only other thing that I'm kind of down on is, last year against Vancouver, we should have beat Vancouver. There was no buy-in, and I put that on the coach.
Oh, boy.
This year, there needs to be the buy-in. Because if you go in there knowing that you have that experience and you look at that team, I'd say all but 3 or 4 of them have rings. They've been through it, right? And they've been through it being the behind team, right?
You know what this team needs? What we really need, I'll be honest with you, and Guy, we talked about this before, we need a Stanley Cup winning coach. Oh, wait, we have one.
Yes, we do.
The guy you hate. The guy we
I don't hate. I don't hate. I really don't hate. But I have issues with some of the things that have gone on this season. Fair enough. And we've talked about it. I know Mike's new here, but we've talked about it ad nauseum. There's things going back to the bubble with Berube that I've seen that really concern me. Right. I'm hoping that some of this stuff switches. But again, I'm putting this tonight. I'm looking at this going, this isn't a loss. I don't take this as a loss. I take this as a win. I really do. I think that
hold on a second.
No, I was looking at an Aaron Carter thing there. What he had said about RO's interview with Darren Pang in the arena, said he looked like he was mad the last time he played a team like that being Colorado. We came back and beat them 5-4. Man, I can't wait for tomorrow. You know, I think tomorrow's going to be a good game. I really do. But I also think, well, you got to remember, right now, Vegas still has something to fight for.
Yeah.
Right? They still have first place.
Yeah.
It's not gone away. It's not locked yet. So they're still fighting for it. The Avalanche still have a couple of games with the Kings, have 2 games with the Kings, and I think they have one other game out there. We're the last ones. Us in Minnesota are the last ones to play.
Yeah.
Right? And that's because of that's because of the late COVID that hit Minnesota.
That's right.
Or hit Minnesota and that. So that's kind of why we're filling it up. I'm sorry about the squeaky chair. I don't have any WD-40 here. I'll find some tomorrow and fix it. You know, my chairs, they're giving me crap because my chair's tweaking. Well, if I had my old mic, no one would have heard it. Now I got my super mic. It hears everything.
Yeah.
So,
hey, Michael, I got a question for you. Who would
Absolutely.
you say, in your opinion, are the 1 or 2 unsung heroes for Vegas? Guys who maybe aren't getting a lot of attention, but are really making that team work.
Absolutely. So first off, Nick Hague, rookie defenseman. As a player, I think he's a stud. Plays every night, puts his body on the line, physical, makes great zone breakouts. And yeah, today we saw 2 assists on the night. There's a lot of upside to him, a lot of potential, which I really like, and I don't think he gets the credit he deserves, quite honestly, from the media. And man, just maybe Marchessault, like you said, like he's just an energy guy. He brings so much into the lineup, a lot of positivity, a lot of great play every night. We saw it today. He was getting chances all night. We didn't capitalize until the end. And when you talk about Vegas, you talk about the usual suspects: Mark Stone, Max Pacioretty, Alex Pietrangelo, Shea Theodore. You rarely hear Marchessault's name come up, but he's a big reason for their success. So, yeah, those 2 players.
well, he's been a dagger in the Blues side, that's for sure. Well, I got to ask you something. Let's go back to the beginning of the season,
Absolutely.
right? First game, Blues Knights, and Mark Stone stops, shows a punch, and misses, and then jumps off his skates, nails Bozak, takes him out for 20-something games, and doesn't get a fine or a penalty.
Yeah.
From a Vegas perspective, was that a dirty hit or was it a clean hit?
Well, as soon as I used to play hockey, so as a hockey player, as soon as someone leaves their skates, it's a dirty hit. No matter what transpired before, no matter what's going on, as soon as someone lifts their skates off the ice, you can't do that. It's not cool. I'm a Vegas fan, sure, but I know what's dirty and what's not, and that's not cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, it's nice to hear. That's really nice to hear. That you see he should have been suspended for that, right?
Yeah.
That the league made a mistake there.
Absolutely.
Right. At least in my eyes.
And you
right?
know, and the reason why that was for us, and I think the reason why the Blues had a lot of struggles was because, you know, Bozak really is a guy that makes his team work. And, you know, for him, you know, to be out for like 20 games was really, really, you know, put us, you know, that's when we were going through our 8-game losing streak when Tyler Bozak was on the shelf, you know?
Yeah. I was watching Bozak tonight. Great speed.
Oh,
Great forechecking, going into the corners, getting the puck. The first goal, Ryan O'Reilly, that was all Bozak. So, yeah, definitely a dirty hit by Mark Stone. And
So here's a good question for you.
We like to find something, we never let it go, just so you know.
Hey, no, I mean, it's a good time to ask. You know, I know it's back in the beginning, but it's a good time to ask. It's first time we've had a Vegas guy on, right?
I got you. Yep.
So who are you thinking Seattle's going to take from you guys?
Ooh, man, I have no idea. That's a great question. Wow.
Well, you have until tomorrow to figure it out.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Let me sleep on
Tomorrow's going to be a great show. So, hey, everybody, my name's Guy. I'm the Hawaii Blues fan. This is the Blue Note Fan Report. You're watching this on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. I'm joined today by Brock Banner from the St. Louis Fan Report and the Hockey Writers. And I'm also joined by Adam Driver. I'm sorry, Michael, I can't pronounce your last name, so I'm going to let you say it, buddy.
Yeah, Michael Vidakis. Yeah.
Michael Vidakis from the Hockey Writers for the Vegas Knights. He's gratefully joining us, and his counterpart is going to join us tomorrow, I think, for the intermission and the post-game shows. And tomorrow, I got Tony Curry, the Great Blue, played in the 70s and in the 80s, was part of that 80-81 team that 100. And actually, that's right. Vegas doesn't have to give anybody up. They're safe from the expansion draft for 5 years. That's right. They don't have to give anybody up. Thank you, Ashley. I should have known that. Thank you, Ashley. Ashley, you're great. I really appreciate that. Right. I forgot what it is. Tomorrow, I'm going to have Tony Curry on the pregame show, just like I had Gary Younger today. We're going to get on. You guys will get to ask him your questions. Share the show out on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube. Let's get those views. I'll tell you what, my goal is still 100 viewers at one time. The closest I've ever gotten is 50. Today we got in the 30s. From looking at the normal views, the pregame and the first intermission do the best, and we kind of fall off from there. But let's, work it out, man. Keep sharing the show. Keep talking about the show. It's a great show. You guys all love it. Let people know that. I have a couple of possible sponsors, and I got to show them that I can bring the views. So that's on all you guys, and that's all I got to say, man. So Mike, let me ask you this: as you're in the playoffs, we're in the playoffs, Avalanche and the Wild. What do you see transpiring in the West?
Yeah. If we play you guys, like you said, if we play the way we played today, I honestly, the Blues will take it. We played really badly today, and you guys kept up with us. And if we play like that, then you guys are going to win. Like, it's as simple as that. And Minnesota, honestly, are my sleeper pick for the Stanley Cup. They have been playing really well recently. I see them making a deep run. So out of the Minnesota-Colorado series, I have Minnesota. And as I said, if we play like this throughout the whole series with the Blues, then I have to give it to you guys. Because the Golden Knights have this really bad habit of slacking off for a couple of periods. And they were doing it at the beginning of the season. And I found today they were doing it. And it's just a really bad habit they need to get rid of. So, yeah.
What did you think about O'Reilly and his shorty?
And his shorty was great.
Right.
O'Reilly is a stud. Like, if I was starting a hockey team, that's one player I'd want to have on my team is O'Reilly.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. I do like O'Reilly. So one more question I've got to ask, at least, I know we're doing good. One more question I got to ask you for sure. Are you guys concerned about Pietrangelo and his contract? Because it's going to start biting you next year with the salary cap not changing, staying at the 81.5. I mean, you're going to lose some good players. This is your one and done shot to me. That you guys are the Miami Marlins, right?
Yeah.
And if anybody doesn't know what I'm talking about, the Miami Marlins twice they went out and bought a championship, and then the next year were last because they sold everybody off. They did a fire sale. They did it for 1 year. They did it twice. I actually see that happening in Vegas this year. So to me, this is your shot, and then you're going to have some lean years. Do you see that, or I'm missing something?
Yeah, I don't think maybe not next year will be like last, but it's definitely this year and next year especially this year. This year is probably the best Vegas Golden Knights lineup we have had in the past 4 years. So there's a lot of pressure on this year to win, obviously. Pietrangelo's contract, it's sizable. He didn't live up to expectations this year. He was injured a bit. But I do think, as you said, it's hard to be thrust into a new lineup, into a new roster, new game plan. So I do think next year he's going to bounce back, and it's going to be worth it, the contract. But do the Vegas Golden Knights come out first in the West for the next 5 or 6 years? I don't think so. I think, as you said, they're going to have to start selling off players, maybe rebuild at some point, but they should be good for the next 3-4 years. Yeah.
Yeah, I see that. So, Brock, you're the like voice of reason around here, right?
No, I'm not. Unreal.
Yeah, you are. How do you feel about this game? Do you feel the same way I do, that you don't look at this as a loss, or do you look at, because I see, and I'm going to say this, I know you say you felt the Knights didn't play well, but I think the Blues caused that. And I said that earlier. Their defense was very well tonight. One of the best defensive games, even though they gave up 4 goals, that I've seen all year. The goals were dirty. They weren't great setups. I don't think Vegas had an odd man break until the overtime, right? The Blues had a couple of them. The Blues absolutely controlled the game when they needed to control it tonight. That's in my eyes. Now, I want to know what you think, Brock.
Well, for me, number one, first and foremost, we got the point we needed. We're in the playoffs. That's a huge lift off of everybody's shoulders, okay? Because that was something that really weighed heavy on us, even though it was likely we were going to get there. That was a big problem, okay? And we weren't playing well. And there's a lot of questions, and as you know, it's just an ugly season. So I think that number one, the point so important, where we are. I wasn't really happy with, again, giving up the goal at the end of the second period. Little things like that. I think that we have chances to turn these games into dominant games, and then we let the other teams in it for whatever reason, and then we just kind of let things kind of unspool, just like a thing of yarn just unspooling, and then maybe there's something left on the spool and we win, but sometimes that yarn just rips off and we lose. And I think tonight was one of those times we just kept them in the game. And I mean, they kept themselves in the game, don't get me wrong, but we have a hard time this year closing teams out. Like when we're at 3-1, we really should have been pressing, trying to make it that 4-1,
Yeah. And that's something we say. I will say this, the first part of the third period, I felt like we went into a prevent.
Yep.
It really felt like that. It really felt like we went into a prevent.
The first 3 minutes of the period, they scored within the first 3 minutes.
Yeah, and we didn't have a shot for the first 5 minutes. So to me, that had a lot to do with it. And we were outshot 10-5 in the third. Right there. That tells you everything.
Real quick, because the past 3 or 4 games, the Blues have been outshot. And is that anything that concerns you, Guy? I'll start with Guy because you covered the team, obviously.
Yes, it does. It concerns me in a different way. I don't mind the low shot totals, but I'm concerned with the quality of the shots that they're giving up. Right? You can look at Minnesota. We kept them to 11 shots. They beat us 2-0. Mm-hmm. We had 30-something, 40-something shots that night. Gave up 11 and lost 2-0. It's the quality of the shot. It's not the amount. And my concern is that not this game, but in other games, we seem to give up a lot more quality chances than we do, than we get. We seem to have that issue. So if we can limit the quality chances, and I thought we did tonight. I thought we really did tonight. I will say that Waz was a quality chance, but Waz was a quality chance because of the breakdown of the defense in front of Bennington and having Bennington sprawled. And when Bennington pushed that puck out, it should have been thrown down. It should have been iced, and it wasn't. So that's kind of the thing that I'm seeing there.
And, Michael, you had mentioned about, Jake Wallman earlier in the show, and, he's a young guy. Was this his second year technically? He's basically a rookie. He played a couple games last year or whatever, but he's been asked to step in because again, Carl Gunnarsson, we lost him for the year. Petrangelo signed away. Obviously a shakeup in our defense. So we asked Jake Wallman to come in and kind of be that offensive defenseman, and it took him a little while to get going. I mean, there were a couple of games that he coughed up the puck and cost us the game. There was a situation against Colorado where we could really use that game, and he coughed it up. But I think he's really rebounded, and he's really played well. And, just when I think, okay, he's in Berube's doghouse, he shows up and he plays, and he's been playing good minutes. I mean, Guy, what do you see from Jake Wallman?
I've actually I'm changing my tune on Wallman, right? For me, I thought that Wallman played a little too much. That Mikkola should have gotten more time in. Mikkola is really, really showing that he deserves that spot. Yeah. Wallman had a great game tonight, and that spin that he did late that stopped the solid shot. That's smart man hockey, right? That's knowing where your positioning is. That's knowing what the situation is, and that's the thing in hockey that I think doesn't get talked about enough: situational awareness, right? If you have good situational awareness, you don't make the type of mistakes that end up in the back of your net. Yeah. Sanford does not have good situational awareness, right? Now, you look at the one game where O'Reilly coughed it up near the blue line and it ended up in the back of our net. Okay, that's O'Reilly. He's allowed to make a mistake like that. He's got a Conn Smythe. He's got a Selke. He's got a Lady Bring.
He's earned it.
Okay?
He's earned that right.
He's earned the right to make a mistake. Sanford has not. And this is why I bang on Sanford like I do, because the eye test tells me that he just doesn't have it. The eye test with Wallman up until recently, I thought he didn't have it either. However, the last couple of games, he's done very well.
And Michael, from your standpoint, you mentioned, some of your younger guys, who's your, I can't think of the guy's name. He's the younger guy. He's kind of a scrappy guy, number 70, Kopitar, or not Kopitar.
Kolasar, Keegan
Kolasar. Yeah, he's a young guy. He's been kind of making his mark up there. He's been playing some big minutes. What do you think about him?
Yeah, I think from a player standpoint, I think he's great. I think he brings a grittiness to the Golden Knights lineup. Gets into the corners, can play dirty hockey, and that's something you need on your third and fourth line, especially heading into the playoffs where hits are a big factor. As you said, the Blues out-hit the Golden Knights tonight, and it was a pretty much even game. And in the playoffs, it's even more hits. The Bruins have so much success in the playoffs because they can hit. They could stifle teams and stop the speed that teams have. So Kolasar as a player, I think he's great for the playoffs. Any team that has a player like Kolasar, it's amazing.
Well, guys, unfortunately, I'm going to have to cut this short. Got to take care of some personal business. So this is Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, for the Blue Note Fan Report, brought to you on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Joined today by Mr. Brock Banner from the Hockey Writers and STLFanreport.com. And Michael, and I'm going to kill it because I can't read it very well.
It's all good.
Viegas from the Hockey Writers for the Golden Knights. Thank you so much, Mike, for joining us. I look forward to seeing you on the intermissions and the post game tomorrow, along with your counterpart. So, guys, this is Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan.
Thanks,
saying
Michael.
Aloha, mahalo, and I'll catch you all on the next Blue Note Fan Report. Aloha.